Hey guys, welcome to this month's Potter Projects. This time I'm going to be teaching you how to make pins. So the design for these pins are really easy and kind of fun to make. Maybe a little different than the pins you usually see. These pins are glass bead pins. Now what they are is they're just the same beads I used for the potion bottles, only bigger. And you can find them at the dollar store. And you can get a big bag of these big ones for $1. And you can use them in so many ways. And these pins are one of my favorite ways to use them. Now what you're going to need is a printer and a computer. That is first and foremost the most important thing about this project. What you need to do is find some of your favorite pictures or quotes or whatever you want, house crests, and copy them to your computer and resize them to fit the glass. And it's real easy. You can just do that by holding it up to your computer screen as you're resizing them. And here I just printed out some of my favorite pictures that I found. And I think today we're going to do the DA pin. So all you have to do is take your piece of paper with your image on it, your glass bead, and some puzzle glue. And all you do is you take a very thin coat of puzzle glue and put it over the image and just do a very thin layer. Make sure you get it even though. That's what's nice about this applicator. And then just place your bead on top of the image and press down really hard so you get all that air squeezed out of there. Now usually puzzle glue does take a couple hours to dry, so that's why I have another one already ready, dried, and waiting to show you the next step. Okay, so now that your glue is dry, you just take your box cutter, which you need a box cutter, and you just cut around the edge of your stone. And then you just peel it off. And if you have a little extra, that usually just comes right off. So now that you have your pin made, you just need a backing. And these backings, you actually can just find at Walmart. A whole big bag like this for like $1 or $2. So that's kind of cool. And they're just pretty simple. The biggest issue when putting these on is just getting them lined up right, so that your pin is balanced. You usually want to put it more towards the top of the pin and straight across so that it's not lopsided. And then all I do for that is I just take my glue gun and put just a little strip right straight across and just stick the pin backing on to the glue. Push it down, and then just to make it a little more secure, you just put a little more over the top with your glue gun. A really light layer though. And since I used a glue gun, it's going to dry really quickly, so you know, these don't really take very long at all. And then you can make all kinds, like here's the Gryffindor one I made. Using the same pin backings, I made other pins too. Like I made a whole bunch of these SPW badges out of clay and paint. I just used oven baked clay, which now I think I would use air dry clay since I have it now. And I just painted it and used a paint marker to write SPW on there and then just pin the backing on. And I also made a whole bunch of these Weasley is Our King badges too. And those are just clay cut into the shape of a crown, black paint marker, and pin backing. So these is really simple to make pins, you know, all kinds. You can use text, like one of my favorite pins, I'm not wearing it right now, but one of my favorite pins I wear almost every time I have a day off is one that says "Keep calm and read Harry Potter." It's one of my favorites, and they're so easy to make and fun, and you can do it as a group or, you know, whatever you want. So now, using the same design with printing out the pictures or quotes or names you want to use in the font you want, you can also just use smaller stones, unless you want a bigger necklace, and make necklaces. I made a ton of necklaces using this design. All I did was I used a chain or embroidery thread or just thread with beads, and made a bunch of necklaces. And like, I made a really big Hogwarts crest, and then I made just simple ones with just like my favorite character names on them. I made one for each of the DA, and then I made some with pictures in them. And here's where the resizing your picture really comes into play, because if you can resize the image, you can do pretty much any image you want and just make it into a necklace. So these necklaces, I wear one to work every day. I just switch, I wear a different one every day. And I've had a couple customers ask me where I got my necklace, and when I told them that I made them, they were shocked. And I told them how simple it is, and I've actually made necklaces for other people. 2 people loved them so much they asked me to make them one. So, and really all you do for the necklace is, like I said, you braid or hemp braid or bead, whatever, your chain, and then glue your picture or character name or quote, whatever, onto your glass bead. And I mean, that's where you can get creative, matching your braid to your bead color, because you can buy the beads in all sorts of colors. And then all I did was I just took a little piece of wire and bent it in an arch and glued it onto the back, and then that just slips onto a finding for a necklace. So that's Potter Projects for this month. Really simple, really easy, and I'll see you next time. Long live Harry Potter!